The Hollow Heir, inspired by Hereditary. It started with the death of Margaret Hale, the matriarch of the Hale family. When she passed, her daughter Clara wasn't particularly sad. Margaret had always been strange, cold, obsessed with symbols, rituals, and a bloodline she never explained. But Margaret had loved Clara's son, Jonah, in a way she never showed anyone else. At the funeral, the air felt heavier than grief. Strangers filled the pews, people no one in the family knew. They stared too long, some of them smiled. A few weeks later, Jonah began sleepwalking. At first it was harmless, he'd wander the hall muttering gibberish. But then Clara found him standing in front of the attic door, his hand on the knob, whispering, "She's not done yet." Clara didn't believe in the supernatural. She was rational, but things kept happening. She found strange symbols drawn in charcoal under Jonah's bed, spirals, triangles, eyes. A strong, rotting smell seeped from the attic. But when Clara investigated, there was nothing but dust and an old trunk that had belonged to Margaret. Inside were books on necromancy, photographs of rituals, and a family tree. But it was incomplete. The only branches that remained unburned led directly to Jonah. Then came the accident. Clara was driving Jonah home from a party when a deer ran into the road. She swerved. The car flipped once and landed upright. She was bruised, bleeding, but alive. Jonah's seatbelt had snapped. His neck was at an unnatural angle. He was dead, except he wasn't. Clara buried her son, but the next night she heard him laughing from the hallway. His laugh, and only not quite. It was deeper, slower. It vibrated in her spine. She found him in the attic. Or something wearing Jonah's face. It smiled at her and said, "You kept the bloodline intact." She screamed. She tried to run, but her feet wouldn't move. A sharp pain bloomed in her chest, and then the lights flickered. The next morning, Clara was gone. The house was quiet. Too quiet. Neighbors noticed foul smells and flickering lights. Eventually, police broke in. They found the house abandoned except for one thing. In the attic, 9 robed figures stood in a circle, all dead, heads bowed, except for one. At the center, a boy sat cross-legged. His face was Jonah's. But his eyes were ancient, cold, and full of terrible knowledge. A note was nailed to the wall. "He is here. The rightful king, the heir of the Hollow Ones. The bloodline is sealed.